Ever wonder how music, the universal language of emotion, has evolved over centuries? Let's rewind our clocks and journey back to a time when our ancestors were just starting to explore the endless potential of sound. Yes, we're talking prehistoric times when primitive instruments and the human voice were the first mediums of music. Picture this, a group of early humans gathered around a fire, their voices rising and falling in unison, creating the first melodies known to mankind. These sounds, raw and powerful, weren't just for entertainment. They served a vital role in early human societies. Music was a means of communication, a way to share stories, express emotions, and pass down wisdom from one generation to the next. It was also deeply intertwined with their spiritual beliefs, often used in ceremonies and rituals to connect with the divine. Now let's fast forward a bit to the ancient civilizations where music started to take a more structured form. The Sumerians, known for their cuneiform tablets, also left us the earliest known song. This song, etched into clay nearly 4,000 years ago, shows us that our ancestors had not only a love for music, but also a sophisticated understanding of it. But it wasn't just the Sumerians who were making music. All around the world, from the icy tundras of Siberia to the sun-soaked deserts of Africa, people were crafting instruments from whatever materials they could find. They used bones to create flutes, skins to make drums, and strings to build lyres. These instruments were simple, yet they were capable of producing a wide range of sounds. Imagine the thrill of creating music for the first time, of discovering the power of rhythm and melody. These early musicians were pioneers, exploring a new form of expression and communication that would eventually evolve into the diverse world of music we know today. From bone flutes to lyres, our ancestors certainly knew how to keep a beat. As we stride into the Middle Ages and Renaissance, music takes a holy turn. The Church, with its divine influence, played a major role in shaping music of this era. Monks in monasteries were the maestros, composing sacred melodies that echoed through stone walls. It was during this time that musical notation was born, a significant breakthrough that allowed melodies to be written down and shared, preserving them for posterity. Enter polyphony, a concept as layered as the word itself. Imagine a choir with different voices singing different melodies, all harmonizing into a single piece. This was the sound of the Middle Ages and Renaissance. And let's not forget the invention of the printing press. This was the Spotify of the 15th century, revolutionizing music dissemination. Sheet music could now be mass-produced and distributed, spreading harmonies far and wide. So the next time you hum a tune, remember you're channeling centuries of monks and minstrels? Fast forward to powdered wigs and grand concertos. Welcome to the classical and romantic eras. This is the era of musical titans, where composers like Mozart, Beethoven, and Tchaikovsky reigned supreme. These maestros crafted symphonies that could make you weep, laugh, and feel every emotion in between. During the classical era, music took a turn towards clarity and balance. Orchestras grew in size, and musical forms became more defined. Mozart, with his genius, took these forms and filled them with a beauty that still leaves us breathless today. Then came the Romantic era, where emotion was king. Beethoven, though losing his hearing, composed music that shook the very soul. Tchaikovsky, with his ballets and symphonies, painted grand, dramatic musical pictures. The evolution of musical instruments also had a significant role. More keys were added to the piano, brass instruments got valves, and the orchestra became a well-oiled music-making machine. And you thought your favorite pop star was a big deal. Imagine being Mozart in the 1700s. The 20th century, a time of rapid change, and you guessed it, musical revolution. This era saw the birth of genres that would shape the musical landscape for decades to come. Jazz, with its bold improvisations and swing notes, first strutted onto the stage in the early 1900s, bringing a whole new rhythm to the world. From there, we rolled into the rock and roll era, where the likes of Elvis Presley and the Beatles had us all shaking, rattling, and rolling. This new wave of music was rebellious, it was loud, it was everything that the buttoned-up classical era wasn't, and people loved it. But the 20th century wasn't just about the birth of new genres, oh no. It was also a time when technology began to play a leading role in how we created and consumed music. The invention of the radio, for instance, transformed the music industry, making it possible for tunes to travel far and wide from the comfort of our living rooms. Then came television. And with it, a new way for musicians to connect with their fans. The Beatles on The Ed Sullivan Show, anyone? Suddenly we weren't just listening to music, we were watching it, experiencing it in a whole new way. As the century drew to a close, another revolution was taking place. Electronic music, born from the marriage of music and technology, was making its mark. The synthesizers, the drum machines, the auto-tune, they all became part of the musical vocabulary. And let's not forget the digital age. With the rise of the internet in the late 20th and early 21st century, music went digital. Physical albums gave way to MP3s and then to streaming platforms. Now, we could have millions of songs at our fingertips, ready to be played at a moment's notice. From vinyl records to streaming platforms, music has sure come a long way. Now let's groove into the present day, where music is more diverse and accessible than ever. The internet, our virtual global village, has revolutionized music in ways that would have been unimaginable a few decades ago. In the digital age, music creation and consumption have been democratized. Anybody with a laptop, a little talent, and a lot of passion can compose a symphony, produce a hip-hop track, or belt out ballads from their bedroom. The barriers to entry have been brought down, and the result is an explosion of creativity. We're seeing an unprecedented rise of independent artists who are shaping the music landscape just as much, if not more, than the big industry players. The internet has also made it possible for us to explore and enjoy music from all corners of the globe at a click of a button. We're no longer limited to what's playing on our local radio station. We can rock out to K-pop, sway to the rhythms of Afrobeat, or get lost in the melodies of Indian classical music. This global accessibility has led to a blending of genres, as artists draw inspiration from different cultures and musical traditions to create fresh, exciting sounds. The music experiences of today are not just about listening either. With advancements in artificial intelligence and virtual reality, we can now engage with music in immersive and interactive ways. Imagine being able to step into a virtual concert and feel the vibration of the bass, see the sweat on the singer's brow, and even interact with other virtual concert goers. It's like being at a live gig, minus the overpriced beer and the long bathroom queues. So here we are in 2024, jamming to tunes from all corners of the globe, all thanks to the incredible evolution of music.